In the heart of a small savanna village called Azuam, where the baobab trees stood like ancient guardians and the earth cracked under the sun's fierce gaze, there lived a boy named Kento Manoa. Kento was not strong like the blacksmith's son. He was not clever with numbers like the chief's daughter. He did not own goats, nor cattle, nor land. What he owned was small. A patched shirt, a rusty hoe, and a stubborn belief that tomorrow could be better than today. But belief, as many villagers would say, does not fill a hungry stomach. Azuam had once been known for its golden yams and fat shea trees. Traders came from far away to buy their harvest. Children laughed freely. Drums echoed at dusk. Then came 3 seasons of stubborn drought. The river shrank into a thin ribbon of muddy water. Crops failed. Livestock weakened. The youth began to leave for the city, chasing promises of wealth whispered by returning strangers. Opportunity is elsewhere, they said. Kento's own father had once left for the gold mines and never returned. So when Kento announced one evening, "I will restore our farms," the villagers laughed. "With what?" the blacksmith scoffed. "With hope," muttered the chief. But Kento simply replied, "I will do what I can, with what I have, where I am." Kento had inherited a tiny piece of dry land, so poor even weeds avoided it. But he noticed something others had ignored. Every morning before dawn, dew gathered heavily on the tall elephant grass near his plot. It soaked his feet as he walked through. An idea stirred. If the sky would not give rain freely, perhaps he could gather what it left behind. Using broken calabashes and old cloth, Kento began collecting dew each morning. He squeezed the moisture into clay pots buried beside yam mounds he had planted. It was slow. Painfully slow. Children mocked him. Adults shook their heads. Yet each dawn he rose before the sun. Do what you can. With what you've got. Where you are. Weeks passed. Tiny green shoots appeared. One afternoon, an old woman named Mamuna, known for her quiet wisdom, approached Kento. "I have watched you," she said. "Most people curse the sky. You study it." She taught him something her grandmother once whispered. Dig trenches shaped like crescent moons around crops. They trap even the smallest rain and guide it to the roots. Kento listened. With his rusty hoe, he shaped the earth into gentle curves. He mixed dry leaves into the soil to keep it moist longer. Soon, a small miracle happened. While other farms remained brown, Kento's plot began to show streaks of green. Not abundance, but life. One evening, dark clouds gathered unexpectedly. A short but fierce rainstorm fell. Because of his trenches, Kento's farm drank deeply. The others? The water ran off their hardened soil and disappeared. Within weeks, Kento harvested modest but healthy yams. He did not hoard them. He shared. The blacksmith's family received some. The chief's household received some. Even the children who mocked him tasted his harvest. When asked why he shared, he said, "Because I used what was here. The land belongs to all of us." Curiosity replaced ridicule. Villagers began asking questions. How did you make the soil hold water? How did you protect your crops? Kento did not pretend to be a master. He showed them exactly what he had done. Soon, small crescent trenches appeared across Azuam. Children began gathering dew for seedlings. Women used old baskets to create wind barriers. Men composted leaves that once blew away. They stopped waiting for help from the city. They stopped waiting for perfect tools. They began working with what they had. The following year, rains returned more generously. And because the soil had been strengthened and protected, the village did not lose the water. Harvests multiplied. Traders returned. Drums echoed once again at dusk. The chief stood before the people and declared, "We nearly abandoned our home because we believed help lived somewhere else." He turned to Kento. This boy borrowed nothing but courage. Years later, Kento grew into a respected farmer and teacher. Visitors traveled to Ashram to learn sustainable farming. But when they asked him for secrets, he would smile and say, "The land was never against us. We were simply looking too far away for answers." He would point to the dew on the grass. To build something great, you do not always need greatness. You need awareness and action. Many people wait for money, for connections, for perfect timing, for better circumstances. But life really hands us perfection. This folktale reminds us, you may not have everything. You may not be in the perfect place. You may not have perfect tools. But you have something. And something is enough to begin. Do what you can. With what you've got. Where you are. If this story inspired you, pause for a moment and ask yourself, what is the do in your life that you've been overlooking? What small action can you take today with what you already have? Share this story with someone who feels stuck. Comment below with one step you're committing to take this week. And subscribe for more powerful African folktales that awaken courage, wisdom, and purpose. Because sometimes, the smallest beginning creates the greatest harvest.